Hello, self. Hello, cosmos. Hello, universe. It is, wow, is it April 10th today? Thursday, April 10th, 2025. 6:10 in the morning about. Hitting first light, got the fire started. Got some pink skies off in the distance. It's cool, it's crisp here in Port Moody, British Columbia, Canada. This is magic mirror work. For me, by me, as me, through me. So, get to share about me, get to be with, get to noodle, get to contemplate. And reminding myself this is for me. It's not for you. And then if you just happen to be there watching it, that's up to you. It's such a reminder of this life over and over again. It's for me. In the most selfish way possible. And then I get to remind my loved ones, my clients, it's for them in the most selfish way possible. And how do we come together selfishly to come together collectively? We're working with some dear friends to contemplate home, building something new, building something together, building a kind of community, land, natural homes, things like that. And in so doing, I'm reminding them it's easy if you want to get swayed by me, Nick. I can lead, I can be charismatic, it can seem like I know what's going on, but if I knew what was going on, if I knew what to do, if I knew how to do it, it would already have been done because I want it and it's not there. I have gratitude for it though, and that's the other way to look at it, that it is already done, and I'm grateful for it already be done. How it's going to come about sometimes is me reminding all of us just to be honest. If we can be honest with each other, we've already created the safety, the trust, the love, then that honesty actually helps. Having had that container already. The container not being there, everyone's saying what they actually want feels like a trigger. And it can still feel like that sometimes. It's like, oh, why can't you make this easier? Why can't you agree? And I'm recognizing it's easier to not agree in the front end than to pretend you agree and then realize you don't agree in the back end when so much is done. And that's when the quote unquote rubber really meets the road usually, is when you're about to buy the property, when you're about to actually start the sales. And that starts on the second part for this Ohana stage. We're about to actually start the sales. Like, let's start talking to the people we love, the people that we're closest to. What's going to happen? What is actually up? And then we get to ask each other questions. I'd like to hear from them over and over. Ask me again, over and over again. What are we doing this for? Why are we doing this? Why the structure this way? Really? July could be onboarding. August is our connecting months. September is the retreat. October, November, December, January is the integration. Bam, simple. April, May, June is the recruitment. We're having longer lead-ins right now because this is new. Eventually, when this is flowing, one's leading to the next. That's what our dear friend Judy is already doing. She's already got her next apprenticeship half full when she releases it. Great, brilliant, smart. She's doing it at a low price point. Great, brilliant, smart. She can do that from her own perspective. That's how she's doing her business model. I'm choosing to do this slightly at the other end of the extreme, right? And we get to choose. We get to choose together. And really, here it is. If there isn't one person in your life that you could see that would be willing to pay for this in some reality and see the value in it, not that they need to say yes right now, then it's probably not worth it. I'm letting myself be with my own doubts and then take a look at, okay, there's the money thing. It's never about the money. Okay, so keep moving beyond that. This is me working for me. This is not about me making it explicitly clear to you what's going on. Just looking at the little hints of pink that are still there, and it changes so much and so quickly. Yeah, in a month's time, I'll be up here at like 5 a.m. and then 4 something. It's getting earlier and earlier and earlier. It is a commitment to wake up this early. E equals mc squared. Energy equals matter. We're helping bring down the frequency of energy into matter. Had some really powerful breaths lately. Really grateful for the people that have said yes. Really grateful to be able to be with them, for them, as them, by them. Really grateful for all the medicine I get to experience, I get to receive. I'm recognizing I need to get some more medicine now. So, let's take a look at ordering some. It is such a lovely life. Such a lovely life. Measuring things out so precisely. Just taking a second because my brain's getting stuck on pricing, measuring things out, creating nasal sprays, all this stuff. I'm like, just let it go and just trust. It's fun to notice the words intrusive thoughts, ruminating, psychosis, whenever the mind is looping. And then noticing it looping, and then noticing, where have I not just been allowing myself to do something like play a couple video games for a little bit, right? I just read about Elon Musk streaming himself to Twitch and how they're trying to frame it. Oh my God, he died a few times. It's like, it's terrible. It's like, got it, he died. He's getting trolled. Not surprising. Not surprising at all when he allows himself to be seen. And how easy it is to have use the word clickbaity headline to say someone was trolled or they're dying. And that's it for me. It used to be when I was playing a game, I was so proud of not dying versus using the constructs of that game and the losses in that game to play and notice the boundaries of that game. And that's part of it in life, is creating it safe enough so that a child can feel safe to fall so they can learn how to walk. They can throw a ball all over the place so they can learn to find a remote control. And that's it right now where I am encouraging just the throwing of the things and the exploration of how to throw, and then throwing with them in my best way, not trying to play it down. And I can notice he's always watching. He's watching every single mechanic. He's watching how things work. He's understanding it better, and he's mirroring things better and faster. There's a fear in me that if we have a second, that there's going to be an issue. I'm like, oh, it feels so good right now. And then I have to remember there's always issues. Issues, problems, brokenness, disease, challenges. Or there are no problems, issues, challenges, disease. It is absolute perfection. And over again, every single breath now, it comes to that. It's like, thank you. Yesterday I was saying thank you to a friend. Thank you for helping me get here. Thank you for helping me get here, because really his support probably helped keep me alive. his love, his kindness, his compassion, and he did it not by trying to. He wasn't a therapist, he wasn't a talker, he wasn't a doer. He just didn't not show up because that's who he is. He's got a very strong right, wrong, moral compass. I'm glad he is and was on my side at that point in time. And so it was easy. It was easy for him to support in his way. And supporting his way wasn't getting in the way. I remember after my friend died, I watched the whole season of Dexter. I don't know if it was after or before. And I had dreams I was a serial killer. Man, it was fucked up. And it was a wonderful distraction. A wonderful TV show and a wonderful distraction. That's what I've had when I went with him. Lots of amazing distractions in a way. And in the idea of amazing distractions, amazing additions to my life. Like right now I'm watching a show called Bosch Legacy. In a way, it's a distraction too. It's crime, procedural, police drama, all that stuff. And I've been invested with the characters. I've had a lot of fun. It's the final season. Let's enjoy it. And it's funny because when I actually allowed myself just to watch it, I felt like things broke up. My stuckness broke up. My stuckness and feeling like I had to do things a certain way. Something was broken, something was off. So this magic mirror work, there's a part of it it's leading into, and I still haven't finished that work, into podcasts. Let's get some stuff out there. And this is the starting the train that's a little slow. This is also leading into the webinar. Okay, how do we talk about what's up? Welcome to Ohana Sage and X Camp and Soul Immersion and all interactions. I'm Soul Dr. Nick. I get into a little bit of who I am, who we are, what we're up to. This is going to be information. It's going to be a masterclass. It's going to be a question and answer. It's going to be a webinar. You get to ask what you want, because many of you here may have heard everything about, medicine work, breath work, retreats, coaching, and some of you may have heard nothing. And I guarantee none of you will have heard about all of this stuff combined together in the way that we have it and our complete vision. And I can say that because this is brand new for us. It doesn't mean that the parts of it aren't being found somewhere else. It's not like we're reinventing or patenting the wheel. Part of what I saw, and I can say this out loud, is I'm honoring my dear friend Aubrey Marcus, because he's been this master architect who said, I'm going to create this thing called Fit for Service. I'm going to invite you into it. I'm going to invite you to take the best parts of it that you can see and run with it, because we need more of this in the world. And that's a part, if you ask me, is like, yeah, there's a reason why, for example, one of the things that people say is they create playlists for all their work. And you'll notice when you come work with me, whether it's the breath, whether it's the medicine, anything else like that, you're like, where'd this music come from? Where'd this song come from? It's like, follow me on Spotify. You get the music. It hasn't always been easy because I know people are using it right away. Also, I recognize, how do I help people leapfrog faster and faster? Because we're innovating faster and faster when we do it together. And this is part of the innovation. So, what have we innovated? How might it serve you? What's going on? First of all is notice your brain and whatever's going on there, whatever's ruminating. Let it come up. I hope you have a journal in front of you. Don't just write down what I'm saying. Write down what's going on in there. What are the things that keep coming up you can't help? Intrusive thoughts, problems. What are the dreams? What is the dream that keeps coming up? This job, this land, this relationship, this way of being, this thing that you want with kids, all that stuff. What seems impossible that you would love to make possible, you just have never had the tools to make it possible. And if you're on this call, most likely you've been blessed with lots of tools, and it's noticing the tools. Oh my God, I've had this schooling, this education, this experience, this trauma, this challenge in life already. I'm glad I survived it. Most of you, if you're over 25 years of age especially, but probably all of us, have had at least one near-death experience. I've had many that I can count. And what has been there? What are the lessons there? And sometimes the work even is in remembering these experiences to relearn new lessons, old lessons, have it sink in. All right, I say all that stuff just to plant some seeds and help you realize this is interactive. I'm going to be talking for about, let's say, 10, 15 minutes. But after that, there'll be a portion of not just question answer, but a space for small, clear shares if it's needed to get clear on a specific issue, a specific story, if you want to see if it applies to what's going on. If you're looking for some specific guidance. And then know that you'll get a link on our Ohana Sage website to book a call with myself or Marika for 30 minutes, for 45 minutes. That's a time to really dive in. I really invite you to do that because we want to create that value. Coming back to what you'll see on our website earlier, it says, awaken the inner sage. The work is all about awakening your inner sage. Your sage, that wise part of you that knows. The wise part of you that knows yes, no, where to go, what to do, knows already or knew already sometimes, like, oh, that was a bad decision, that was a good decision. And then recognizing when you override that, and not good or bad. I override it still. Sometimes I override it with a piece of cold fried chicken. I love fried chicken, but unless it's really good, why am I eating it? Off topic. Back to what we're up to. So Ohana Sage. Ohana Sage is the culmination of many things. I've worked with many, let's take this all the way back. Soul Dr. Nick, parents were born in Hong Kong, brought us over to North America, went through schooling, grew up in Prince Edward Island, science projects, music, gymnastics. Easy to be number one in a small province, which is really great. It helped me to succeed, to get all these opportunities I wouldn't have expected. Got myself into science, medical school, that's the way it went. Like, oh my God, you have the ability to be a doctor, be a doctor. Took me till I was almost 30, burnt out, suicidal, depressed, because only then did I realize I didn't actually want to be a doctor. I had the capacity to, but oh my God, I was struggling. And I had to go through my own dark night of the soul, leaving all of that, finding my way back to working at Apple, working in the pharmaceutical world, burning out again, realizing that, oh my God, what am I here for? Becoming a coach. Okay. And then being gifted medicine. And I say medicine, it's what I used to think was drugs by my fairy drug mother. She was a PhD in pharmacology. And then having experienced medicine, I'll talk more about that at some point in time, but medicine and then medicine inside a ceremonial container, that's when my lifelong asthma healed. Something I thought was impossible, going from 5 medications a day, 2 courses of antibiotics a year to nothing. My lifelong ADHD, as I stepped into it and stepped into who I am, what I want to do, not taking medications. Every step of the way, stepping outside of even the suicidal thoughts, all these things, like, oh wow, all of this can change. Normalizing weight, blood pressure, everything else. Listening to the body, all right. Stepping into breath work, something that seemed ridiculous to me. I thought it was a waste of time. Working with different spiritual teachers, medicine keepers, following, always trying to get the blessing of the Father, someone else's approval, until finally realizing it's time for me to give my own approval. And then creating Ohana Sage with these founders, because I realized after going in alone, is that really what I want to do? No, that didn't feel good. That felt off. And so now I get to do this. And we'll speak more about what it is that it actually is. And then creating what we want to create out of it. I've been through so many different kinds of experiences. I realized, okay, I've had experiences where I felt like I've died, gone psychotic. I've supported people who have had all these challenging experiences as well. And then realizing, do we really need to make it hard? Life in a way already is hard, it can seem. So I realized spiritual work can be fun. It doesn't have to be serious. And part of that was when I was with, again, and I'll come back to him again, Aubrey Marcus and the Fit for Service. This is a collection of 200 people coming together for a year-long container, multiple retreats, no medicine, but breath work, talking, experiences. And as I was doing that, one of the things that was okay because it was legal was hape. It was a tobacco-based snuff. And that's when I actually started serving it and realizing how beautiful it was, clearing the pineal gland, clearing the blockages, getting clear, getting present, serving so many people that I've always looked up to, And because you get to see there, these guys are like CEOs, these guys are leaders, these guys are actors, all this stuff. And then recognizing I belong, serving facilitators, being served by facilitators, being served by a medicine woman, going in a sweat lodge. And to recognize the power that was there in this community, the power that was there in a longer container. And then going into the medicine space, I realized the power of being seen and felt and safe. And that's the number one thing I'll tell you. If you're stepping into this, I want you to know, and this is the part for you to really feel, that you feel safe. There's so many people that could do this work. You can even do it on your own. That's what I started initially. The biggest thing I invite you to do is, do I feel safe in this? Safety and comfort are two different things though. Comfort, am I not going to push any edges? No, there are probably edges you're going to push. You're going to step into the unfamiliar. That's the whole point of this stuff. But safety, am I safe to push the edges? Am I safe to let the guard down to see what there is? Okay. So coming back to, and I can get lost in the tangents. That's why I'm doing this magic mirror work right now, to notice how I get lost in the tangents. Coming back to, so what we came up with, what we came to, and last year was such a transformative year. We did so many different ceremonies. We helped with retreats, a retreat with Brent. I ran my own retreat, the Brotherhood of Kings. And again, it's that certainty, that's that belief. We're going to do it. We just do it and then see what comes out of it. And what got birthed was a few things. This partnership I have now with the founding partners, Marika and Matt, being in ceremony together, serving. And I never would have thought. This partnership with my dear brother Brent in holding a retreat, something he's been doing for a few years, this retreat in this land. And I got to be a part of that and really lead that part of things. And then taking a look at what's next. What really wants to be birthed out of this? Like, do we just want to do what everyone else is doing or feels like everyone else is doing? Okay, we're serving stuff. We've got all these different offerings. We're building a retreat center, ... I was like, no, the retreat center isn't the first thing I want to do. It's the actual experience, a container. It's not just taking someone and guiding them towards this amazing transcendental experience. Rather, it's guiding them to that with a larger container of bring this into your life. Because it's so amazing when you bring this in your life, when you come back and then you actually have this in your day-to-day. And I'm a father and a husband. I've got a 4-year-old, I've got a cat, I've got a beloved, we've got home, we've got regular things to do. And how do I do that everyday thing and really enjoy the crap out of it? Because otherwise there would be a part that's just chasing being in these spaces, but it's the back and forth and that interplay. And then being able to recognize that every single thing that's coming up is here to serve me. I might not like it in the moment, I forget in the moments, it's here to serve me. And what are the problems that I want to have, right? One of the things we say is, it's not that we don't want our kids to have no problems, we want them to have better problems. And so how we do this is, there's this powerful medicine container, there's this powerful breath, there's this idea of coaching, and then all the other modalities that I've experienced. How do we bring in the modalities that's really going to guide you to this experience and guide you and help you realize you're having the experience before the experience? We often say the moment that you actually fully commit, that's when the journey starts. That's when the stuff starts coming up. People tell me, like, oh my God, this thing blew up. I'm like, awesome. Let's notice it. So going back to the beginning, the moment that you sign up, these containers are 5 months, 6 months. Why is there a little bit of variation? It's because there's a little bit of flexibility, and because especially with a group, there's a little bit of extra buffer because we're actually going to guide people in the group together as well. So let's start with the 5-month soul immersion. This is for a private client. The whole point of this is you for you by you. And many of us are so used to being inside a group and then being able to hide in there that it's really to get with yourself. And so how do we start? Well, from the moment you say yes, it's like, all right, we're going to have a breath session. You're going to realize that you are your own medicine. And just by breathing, so much can change, okay? You're going to have an intention setting session. Oh, what do I think I want? Oh, what do I actually want? Oh, what am I already in gratitude of, because that's the life that I'm actually choosing? And how do I step beyond what the mind wants, what the fears are, running away from what I don't want, and actually getting clear on what I do want? And so that's with my dear friend Marika. And then there's 2 more sessions. One is to take a look at the esoteric side to connect with the divine, to connect with the God, however you want to describe, connect with spirit, really see what there is beyond, and then have one hands-on bodywork session. And that could be within a breath session, something else. And depending on where you are in the world, it may be easy to do right away, and it may be something that we do right before your actual medicine ceremony. And this usually takes about a month's time. It can be faster, it can be shorter, depending on you. And then it guides us into a full day ceremony. And in a full day ceremony, instead of what you're used to is like, I can be with so many people, it's like, it's you, and there's gonna be at least myself and an angel, another facilitator. Sometimes there's even more than two of us, all for you. And it's a place for you to have a reflection, to have a mirror, to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, to have spaciousness. We're gonna have a breath session that day for sure, so we can actually breathe in person. You can see what it's like. You're gonna have the full-on experiential journey, and from there be guided back to yourself. Feel safe enough for whatever needs to come out. And I can talk about that in detail at some point in time. You stack on different medicines, so you feel like your heart's opening. You feel the psyche getting a little bit more mischievous. You can feel yourself awakening your own inner healer. You can feel yourself getting messages from the divine, actually downloading, channeling if you want to. And then from all of that, you can see the paradox of your life, the perfection of your life, and what is there, what already is there, and be guided towards your future higher self who's guiding you to this moment. And then from there, get the messages to help guide you along the way. It's creating your own prophecy, so to speak. And from there, we create a little integration that night. We create a little integration in a week's time. And then every 2 weeks from there, you'll be having a deep soul coaching call, immersion call, right now with my dear friend Marika and her team. And this happens every 2 weeks for 4 months. You can really embody this. You can bring all these cosmic experiences down into this reality that we're in right now and live it into reality. Notice how this applies to your day-to-day life, business, work, family, relationships, all the different places where you're thriving, where you're struggling, where you feel guilty and shame, where you feel proud. Noticing how things shift, noticing the stories that shift. Part of this is the school of unlearning. Everything you think you know feels a little bit looser. So that you can take a look at what beliefs, really they're beliefs. So many theories of life, theory of evolution, theory of germ disease, theory of all the stuff is gonna serve. And why I say they're theories is I don't know all of them to be 100% true. I appreciate the scientific inquiry. I'm not interested in scientism, which is the belief that it's absolute. Because that's what I really want. This is a time for us to awaken to our inner sage. And after this is completed, and there will be a completion because we're not looking to create a forever container, is then you're at a place of choice, of power. It's a gift to be at that place. And then it's so much clearer what's next for you, what direction you want to move in. And I say move because some people literally move. Some people have changed their entire habits. Oh my God, I've actually slept, and I noticed that I've slept for months. What's different just having slept properly, right? Oh my God, that I've had the best revenue I've ever had. We've had that. Businesses, best gross revenue they've ever had. Oh my God, we're pregnant. I've had so many people who have gone from wanting kids to being pregnant. This relationship that I thought was supposed to be the one has changed completely, has enlivened, has not enlivened. And so that's a piece to let you know if there's a piece of you that's like, oh, there's fear. I'm not sure of this. You're right. In that uncertainty, you want to actually create the certainty. And sometimes it's harder to say, I want to find out now. And I'm going to invite you to notice, I don't know the answer. I don't know the truth. And we create the container so that you can actually take a look for yourself. Only you know. And so that's the soul immersion. There are so many more details, there's so many things to say, but I don't want to give you an idea of the pieces, the components. And please ask why different components? Why the body? Why the mind? Why the soul? Why do we prepare all these things? Why do we keep going? I want to hear from you. And then when we talk about the exit camp, this partnership with Brent, we realized we had just an amazing camp last year. It was supposed to be 6 days in the wilderness, turned into 7 days because of weather. 2 ceremonies, bringing together a group of people that he'd curated. And it was so amazing. It's hilarious because the average age was probably in the late 50s. Created so much 3D world success, so much knowledge, so much wisdom. And then it's being able to tap and tune into those subtle layers, to keep hearing, to keep learning, to keep feeling. And like, oh, there's something else there. There's more there. There's a depth there. There's a life there. There's a laughter there. There's a happiness there. There's a breathing there. There's a space there. And that was part of the learning. We had one participant come in and, he needed a purge. He needed to vomit some stuff out, not just for himself, but for everyone else. And it's like, how do we prepare people more, even more beforehand? And then afterwards, going back to your everyday life, noticing the 10, 20% shift in life, and then also noticing how can we actually hold people better. And so it's bringing both things, a soul immersion with the sex camp. And why I say that is because that way we're actually bringing the container where you have both a community. So some of us know that it's time to step into real community, intimacy, authenticity with others who are on a very similar path. And the reason we're doing this is because you know that everyone coming in here is just as committed as you are in a way. They're going to commit to the time before and afterwards. So April, May, June, we're signing people up and really reminding, if you're interested, book your call now. Get in now. This is filling up. And July, we're going to have the pre-work, getting your mind, body, soul ready, the breath work, the intention setting, the esoteric work, guiding you to your soul, the body work. And if you're not around physically in this area, then we'll make sure that you can actually get it just beforehand. And the good thing is, wherever you're in the world, we're going to guide you to do some of your own body work too. It's not that you only need one session. That's one of the things for people. It's like, how do you get guided into intuitive body work? And we'll talk more about that. And then August, we're going to have a couple sessions. One's just a group call to actually share our intentions, to see each other, to be with each other, to sit in circles. It's like, oh wow, this is the circle. This is the tribe that we're going to walk through with. And then we're going to have our breathwork session together. Oh, collectively, I am my own medicine. We are the medicine together. We the people. And then September 19th to 26th, 6 days. We don't go past Whistler, this beautiful ski resort. 2 hours past driving onto this lake. And then we take a little float plane into a place that's even more remote, that really has zero reception of any kind, except for, obviously, you can see the sky. So there's a little bit of satellite. We'll have a little bit of messaging. So it's not that you can't send a text, but it is not a place where you have connection to the outside world. You can ask more questions about that for your own specific case if there's something going on. And this is real wilderness. We have a wild man, Brent, to guide us there. This is a place where there are grizzly bears, there are cougars, there are eagles, there are osprey. There are natural things. And you get to realize that you're safe in nature as well. You realize that the ancestors there, that's half the work is already done. And then because we've already dropped in so much, we've gotten so clear, we can drop right into breath. We can drop right into practices. We can drop right into medicine. There'll be 2 medicine journeys. And it feels like it's a spaceship that we're creating. We're sending it off into the cosmos. And then we can actually be with the practice. We can walk the land. There's a sauna there, a wood-fired sauna. There's a lake you can cold plunge into. There'll be some amazing foods that we get to share together, meals that we get to share together. And there'll be a whole week almost together to really dive in. Every day, preparing, ceremonying, recovering, preparing, ceremonying, recovering, dancing, having fun, building these lifelong friendships. Lifelong friendships will come out of this. That's what I've learned. That's part of, again, thanking Aubrey Marcus. Marika and I met each other at Fit for Service. Lifelong friendship, lifelong business. And then coming back from that, having regular calls, having your own embodiment coaching, bring this into the 3D, and then having touch points in with this larger tribe to see how we're going together, because sometimes that extra support, accountability, cheering changes everything. And this is the next 4 months. right? October, November, December, January. Imagine starting 2026 and be like, holy shit, I could not have even pictured this a year ago. I could not have pictured my life like this. That's what I want you to see. The goals, the dreams, the ideas are completely different then. This is the time to bring consciousness into life. And how many of us look at AI, for example, say, I'm a little scared, like what's going to happen? That's part of what I want to do. I want to bring consciousness to the construct. How is it that we can do things consciously? It doesn't mean we can't do some things, and that's part of it. Sometimes like, oh, if I become so clear, I will never do this thing that I love doing, but I hate doing at the same time. Told you about the fried chicken. Watching crummy TV shows, playing video games, wasting time. That's a thing. And over again, just being with my 4-year-old, I realized one of the greatest gifts I have is I can waste time with him. I can play with him. And I'm creating a space so I don't have to go and waste time and play with him, because I want to waste my own time too. And he's teaching me right now. I am being taught by him. So these are the two containers. We got room for questions about what this is, and we've got room for you taking a look and seeing about your specific case and how this all fits. Before I forget, 2 more things. Every couple of weeks I run an online Ohana breath. This is a part of all of this. Would love for you to join even beforehand. Group breath, diving in deep, and people often are like, wow, how could I have that experience online at that distance? And that's part of it, having a regular container. So sometimes people are like, well, this stuff you're doing is so personalized, it's inaccessible. I'm like, I've got this Ohana breath. It's accessible to everybody, anywhere, all the time. Then I've got another platform called School where all the recordings are. And I've had people who committed that for 6 months to a year, and everything has changed. It's the regular commitment. The only thing I can say is the difference between doing that commitment and this commitment is this one. Whew. It feels like it's bespoke. It feels like you're being held differently. It's personalized. There's more back and forth. We want that. I would love to create more of that. It's a different kind of dive in. But is all of this available anytime? Yes. And you get to choose. This is the beautiful choose your own adventure of life. All right, so that took about 15, 20 minutes. It's getting clearer. It's noticing what words want to be said, what paradoxes want to be shared. All right, today I'm meeting with Matt and Marika, founding. We're going to get clearer on the actions and the activities and what's following through, what's leading through. And it is sales, the outcome is sales, but not making that the focus. And that's what I'm asking for guidance on. Oh. The metrics, the commitment, taking the abstract into the real. These are the 3 months to take this abstract idea and bring it into the real and have such gratitude for it. And there's so many ways to bring the abstract into the real, into the 3D. Running a community is not easy. Running a community is not easy. Thank you. It's funny, looking into the fire, I forgot all about where I am. Forgot about the magic mirror work, forgot about being recorded. And it was fun to just get lost in the fire. Just shut up. And it's so funny that my life has become more talking, more mischief. When I was the one that I always talked my mouth off and got myself in trouble that way, especially with my family. Planes off in the distance. Lots of clouds, lots of beauty, lots of light. Early morning. Hearing the birds, hearing the hummingbirds in the distance. They are mating and having a great time. Got to chat with a dear friend who's another medicine holder yesterday and be with her and some aloneness and loneliness and patterns. I'm so grateful to be able to be there. One of the things I love is making space to facilitate facilitators. This work isn't always easy. It brings up the stuff inside, my stuff too. Last couple weeks I've had times like, why am I doing this? What do I have to offer? Is this just a lie? Sometimes it feels like that. I'm looking for that external validation. Can you see how valuable I am? Can I see how valuable I am? Can I see me? Can I have gratitude for me? Can I remind myself of letting go of the need for external validation and still wanting it, still desiring it? It's not bad to have external validation. It's the addiction to it that can get lost. You tell me who you want me to be and I'll be that person versus I am being this person. And are we aligning? Are we matching? As distinct from versus little things, little nuances in the languaging. Keeping things simple. Speaking into the livelihood of what I'm doing, and livelihood is interesting work. It's bringing life into it. It's just exchanging energy, life, money, and everything else in between. Valuing things, supporting. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Private work, would I have done it? Probably. If I wasn't paid initially. And was it such a different thing to have it be an actual session that was paid for? Was there so much more value that came out of it in a different way? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, 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 thank you. All right, I'm going to close this for now and see what else there is. Ciao for now.